Hi there. So I wanted to give you a quick overview about oils. Is it Are they legitimate? Is it hype? Is it a new trend? That is, I get a lot of questions about, well, do they really work? I just wanted to cover a couple of things real quick about oils and their history. So historically, people have been relying on essential oils for thousands of years. There's tons of documentation. They've been used for a multitude of ways in many different cultures. They were actually humankind's first medicine from plants, and there are hieroglyphics, ancient manuscripts, and many documents, well documented throughout history, from the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, the Greeks, the Romans, Europeans, and Chinese. I'm sure you've all heard of Chinese medicine. Have you ever heard of the Hippocratic Oath? Within the oath, there's a promise that says, first, do no harm. He was a Greek physician, also known as the father of medicine. He studied, used hundreds of local plants to treat ailments and disease, and today he still remains an example of promoting the use of plants, oils, and natural substances for their healing and health promoting capabilities. As more health practitioners, doctors, and scientists, as users like me, venture into this world of ancient, original knowledge, essential oils are no longer considered the missing link in modern medicine. About half of prescription drugs in the US are based on compounds found within plants. They're taken, synthetically recreated or synthesized, and they're isolated. Those compounds are isolated, which is why you see a lot of reactions from synthetic products that you won't see in herbs and oils and natural supplements. So integrating oils into your life allows you to make your emotional, physical, and mental health a priority in the most natural way, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Sometimes when I meet with clients, I can be a little overwhelming because I try not to dump too much information at once, but I know that sometimes I often do. So when people are getting started and they seem overwhelmed, I say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Read, listen to podcasts, just, go through things that we have in this group and just take it by design. You can actually search specific ailments or issues that you're dealing with or specific oils and come up with a lot of information. PubMed is even a great resource on stuff. There's a lot of studies out there. So just one drop can make a big difference. Each plant in nature is linked to specific health benefits, and it takes a lot of plant material to yield a tiny amount of oil. For example, it takes 1 pound of peppermint to make a 15 ml bottle. So if you're holding a 15 ml bottle of peppermint, then that's a pound of plant matter in that bottle. And for rose, for instance, a lot of people are asked questions about the difference in price. It takes 50 rose flowers to make 1 drop of rose oil. So it's like 4,000 pounds of rose petals to make a pound of equivalent to a pound of rose oil. So they're highly concentrated and very potent, usually about 70 times or up to 70 times more powerful than the original plant or dried herbs. So that's actually what got me to switch from using as many herbs and going to oils because of the potency. And I saw such a quicker response time in the body for myself and my kids. I've done holistic things for over 35 years, and my kids have been raised mostly holistically, so I still had a big learning curve coming into being a mom. But when I started using oils, I quickly switched from using as many homeopathics and herbs. I still use some homeopathics, but using dried herbs and stuff as much as I do from oils. Now, not oil, I do have people who are like, oh, I don't like the smell of that. So, not every oil will smell good because not every plant is supposed to smell like a beautiful flower. But the therapeutic benefits you'll get from each oil will make up for the fact that you may not love every smell. Digest, for instance, is a potent blend for digestive. I use it. I use it on my dogs. I use it regularly for just digestive issues, but it's not anything I'm ever going to throw in my diffuser or want to wear as a perfume. Over time, you're going to start loving some of the smells that you may not like initially because your body's going to associate the benefits to receiving the benefits it's receiving to the smell of the oil. So there are oils, like a lot of times people don't like lavender, but they'll love the benefits and it ends up being one of their favorite ones. And I don't want to get too sciencey about the oils, but do they really work? I've seen some amazing things since I've started doing this. Oils work when they enter the body, whether you're smelling them. so inhalation, or you're applying them, absorption through the skin, or ingesting them, even, which I do that a lot too. Because the body recognizes oils as nutrients, they work synergistically to help support our natural healing response in the body. So they're very immune supportive, they're emotionally very good. Where in contrast, synthetic chemicals are recognized as a foreign substance. Like I said, they isolate those compounds that come from plants and they synthesize a lot of things. And they can also contain dangerous ingredients that are used or created to mimic the properties that nature built into plant matter, into botanicals, basically. Essential oils are composed of very, very tiny molecules, making them extremely concentrated. And let me step back just a second on synthetics. Also, anytime you heat, like if your plant matter is sprayed with pesticides or insecticides, when you heat those, which you have to heat them to distill them, you're actually increasing the toxicity of whatever sprayed on the plants up to like 1,000 times. So they can become extremely toxic, extremely fast. So that is why I recommend Young Living over anything else, because they go to the trouble as far as the soil. We never use any pesticides or insecticides. Everything's done naturally. They're non-GMO, so they're not genetically modified seeds or plants, and they also are very particular and do tons of research on the distillation methods and the best way. So you're everything that you put on your body that comes from this company, every supplement you take, every oil that you take internally, you're not going to have to worry about exposing yourself to further contaminants. 1 drop of essential oil contains approximately 40 million trillion molecules. So numerically, that is a 4 with 19 zeros after it. That's a lot. Probably more than I can wrap my mind around. But because the essential oil molecules are so small, they can penetrate our skin and our bloodstream and support the internal organs of our body. Since we have 100 trillion cells in our body, 1 drop of essential oil contains enough molecules to cover every cell in the body with 40,000 molecules. So they work 22 seconds, they reach your brain, 2 minutes, they can be found in your bloodstream, and in 20 minutes, they can affect every cell in the body. So I think that's pretty fascinating. When inhaling an essential oil, it travels through our nasal passage to a receptor neuron that transports it to our limbic brain. So the limbic brain, those are the vitality oils. I actually skipped a slide. And I put these in veggie caps with a carrier oil a lot of times, but I take a lot of oils internally, especially if I'm trying to bring the body back into balance. So when inhaling an essential oil, it travels through our nasal passage to the receptor neuron that transports it to the limbic brain. So that's our mind's control center for emotions, mood, and memory. I don't know if you have heard me talk on this or not, but anytime we have a trauma, it is stored in the cellular memory of our body. And the only way to reach that part of the brain is by your sense of smell. So that is why oils are so important and beneficial when you're dealing and trying to, say, lower the stress in a situation or the environment in your home. So by smelling an oil, the molecules go inside your brain, and because those molecules are so small, essential oils can penetrate the blood-brain barrier, which is part of why they're so effective for therapeutic use. So, and within 20 minutes being placed on the skin, they can penetrate and affect or impact every cell within our bodies. And that's why the quality, like I said, with the pesticides and everything, is so important. And when you diffuse, you actually can change the home environment and passively impact everybody in your home. I run diffusers pretty much every day. I start my diffuser almost every night before I go to bed. Sometimes I'm tired and I forget, but I put oils on first thing in the morning. I put them on before bed, so I'm applying them. But I love running my diffuser, and a lot of times if I'm going to be gone all day, I'll go ahead and start my diffuser to run intermittently, and it'll run throughout the day, because there's nothing I love more than coming in after being out all day and just having my home is our sanctuary. Right now it's a RV, but it's still our sanctuary. And I love how coming in and smelling that, it's just relaxing, it's calming, for the girls and I, for the dogs, for everything else. So we diffuse regularly. It also if you have odors. I mean, we have two standard poodles right now that are puppies, and so bringing the dogs in and stuff, I never want my house to smell like a dog. So I also use it to help clear the air. It also helps capture particulates if we have a lot of rain or a lot of pollen blowing around. It just helps keep the air cleaner, and also helps and I think I showed on this previous slide the lavender lemon peppermint. I've been diffusing that a lot lately because when your histamines are higher, this is a great combo just to kind of lower that. So I try to diffuse with intention. All right, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or shoot me a message. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.